Put this map in our pocket and get out there. A little bit of pain, whole lot of beauty. Hey everybody, Syntax 77 here. I am up here in New Hampshire in the White Mountains, more specifically in the Sandwich Range Wilderness. I got 3 days off, 2 nights, and we're gonna do some backpacking. Over here, I got the Jeep all locked up and ready to go. I got my backpack right there. Pretty light on this trip. Didn't weigh it exactly, but we're definitely under 10 pounds base weight. If I had to guess, I would say maybe 8 pounds. I'm keeping it real simple on this trip. I just have a trekking pole tent. I do have my trekking pole right there and another one on the pack. I got my trekking pole tent, my foam sleeping pad, and a down top quilt. That's about it. A long sleeve shirt, a little extra clothing, because right now it's about 70 degrees. It's going to swing down to mid 30s, believe it or not, because right now it is September. That sun is beating down, so it feels nice and warm now, but being the White Mountains, the weather is unpredictable and the temperature swings are pretty wild. So yeah, we could get down close to freezing on this trip, but for the most part during the day it's not going to be too bad. So I was able to pare my weight down pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited. If you want to come with me, I'm going to put this pack on and we're going to do it. Here's the gate here. No vehicles beyond this point. Just our feet. We're at the Oliverian Brook trail and we're going to do some summits that I've never done before. Although I have been at this trailhead before many moons ago, and bonus points to you if you can call out what that video was. So we're going to head up on this Oliverian Brook trail towards this Passaconaway mountain, and let's see on this map here. You are here. Oliverian Brook trail. Split off and go up towards the intersection of Dicey's Mill Trail and Rollins Trail, and there's an old campsite that has been decommissioned. It's not on this map, but I did see it on some old maps and other maps digitally on my phone, called Rick's Tent Site, or is it Rich's Tent Site? I think it's Rick's Tent Site. Either way, there used to be a shelter there, but there is not anymore. You know, like a 3-sided wooden shelter. That is not the case, and there's no tent platforms or anything like that. It's kind of grown in, but from what I've read, it's still a nice open area. You can see right now, it's a pretty wide open trail. That'll change soon. But this loop that I'm going to do, I'm going to take it pretty easy. Only going to do about 15 miles over the course of 3 days. We're going to get into some steep stuff, but the whole loop is only going to be about 5,000 feet of elevation gain. I hurt my back somehow. I slept wrong and then worked on my Jeep, and the lower left side of my back is not feeling great, so we're not going to push the mileage too hard on this trip. And this is the ski trail. It's nice and quiet. It's calm. A little wind in the distance. It was storming pretty bad when I drove up last night, and it was raining this morning, so I let that pass, and it is midday now, or a little after. Right now, real smooth. Just some duff underfoot. Doesn't feel bad at all. Just really looking forward to kind of the last bit of fair weather hiking, if you will, in the Whites. And like I said, it can get crazy up here. Anything could happen, but as of right now, it looks pretty calm and the temperatures are nice. So I figured I'll just come up here and we'll enjoy this, because before you know it, for up here in the Northeast at least, it'll be basically into what most people would call winter conditions within the next month or so. Nice little warm up though. We'll just get into the groove and see what is ahead. Ah, those are moose tracks right here on the trail. You can make that out. That is no deer. That is a big old moose. Looks like he cut off the trail, went down in there that way. Keep our eyes open. That's the one thing about solo hiking, is that typically you're a lot quieter, and it's typically when I see the most wildlife is on solo trips. So we'll see. Maybe we'll spot something. So there we are, officially entering the Sandwich Range wilderness. Welcome. Please treat with care and respect. Group size 10 people. Yep, these are all federal laws for wilderness protection areas. No use to motorized equipment or mechanical vehicles, including bicycles. I'm fairly certain we don't have to worry about that around here. And rough trails that may be difficult to follow. Right now, as you can tell from looking around, good luck setting up a tent or laying on the ground in any flat capacity. That is one of the advantages of winter with all that snow on the ground. Nice thing is the water is flowing good. Got some here. As I navigate this, don't want to slip on the moss. Sunset is 6:30-ish, something like that. But it is nice and dry. The bugs aren't out, which is nice. Not too bad, at least. Actually, right here is an intersection. Oliverian Brook Trail. We are parting ways. Drove a long way yesterday on a back that already didn't feel great, because over here, right over here, through these trees, I don't know how to get there, but it looks beautiful and flat and far enough from the trail and just enough of a pain in the butt to get to that I don't think anybody's going to bother me. I also haven't mentioned, I should say, that it is midweek, which I typically do on purpose to keep things to myself. Well, what do you think about this? What if we go down here and scout around? It might be worth checking out. I gotta switch my mentality, because typically I get to a spot and my number one thought is, where are some good trees that are sturdy, not dead, and properly spaced? But in my case, right now, with my trekking pole tent, I just need flat ground. And I got some. Right here, like perfect. It's almost like sandy, with a little bit of duff, or I should say like pine needles on top. Kind of like it. We're pretty far from the trail at this point. I don't even think if you were hiking down the trail, you wouldn't even see me down here unless you really knew this area existed. I just happened to look at the left at the right time. This is beautiful. Crystal clear water. I don't know, what do you think? Should we set up around here? I think I know the answer. This packet's coming off. First things first, I will set up the tent. Let's get that done so that everything's squared away. And then perhaps move on to firewood or a snack, something like that. But let's get the shelter up first. So, in my last video, my sleeping pad, I had a budget one, inflatable, real cheap $30 one. It actually lasted me a bunch of years, but started having a slow leak. So I went back to this 10-year-old foam Z-Light pad. They don't leak. Yeah, I'll probably get a new inflatable pad at some point. I actually have like a Thermarest pad that I got. It's like a military surplus one because the military uses Thermarest. So pro tip, you can go online and you can get used Thermarest pads pretty cheap because they're used by the military. In fact, you don't even have to go online. You can just go to Army Navy store and buy them. And they're pretty bomb proof, but you cannot pop a foam sleeping pad. Is it the most comfortable pad in the world? No. Would my wife sleep on this? I wouldn't ask her to, but it works. And no breath wasted. I'm sitting down already. So let's see here. Got my pack cover right there, which haven't needed and hope I don't. I got my Outdoor Vitals hard shell. Based on the forecast, I don't anticipate rain, knock on wood, at this point in the trip. But if I got some, I could put this on. But the main reason I have this hard shell, which a lot of people would call just a rain jacket, and it is an extra layer to trap heat. Because when it goes down to 38 in town, so probably maybe 34, 35 degrees here, at around 5 in the morning, right before sunrise, it's going to be pretty cold. And I can pop this on, and you combine this with a mid layer and a t-shirt, and you got yourself a cold weather jacket. Not bad. So I got that first aid kit. But what I'm really going for is this here, my trekking pole tent that I used for the first time on that last trip with Dave from Outdoor Vitals, and they gave me this to play with. It's very light and simple because it's really just a big old tarp, in essence. I'm understating, but you know, they've sewn in the body and the zipper and all that stuff there. So with this and some tent spikes and just 2 trekking poles that I already have with me, which for years I didn't bring with me, but I always seem to go really slow in the downhill, so now I have a great excuse to bring trekking poles. I use these along with the 6 tent spikes, and that's all I need to make myself a fully freestanding tent. Not bad. Feels good to sit down right now though. But this is probably where I'm going to put it. It's pretty flat here and soft, so I will get that set up. Let's get the 4 corners out, and then we'll tighten it up. You let that out a little bit. Even with it just spiked out 4 times and 1 pole, it's standing pretty good by itself already. So now let's put this next pole in. I can adjust it as I go. I mean, luckily for me right now it's not raining or anything, so there's really no stress or pressure. Oh, I lost my rock. There we go. Now in my case around here, yeah, I could get a hammock to work. I'm not completely religious about the hammock versus tent thing. If you are totally a zealot for one or the other, that's great. I consider tents and hammocks to be tools, and use the right tool for the job, or whatever makes you happy. And around here, I could have done both. In really dense vegetation, then yes, I would not bring this because I would not have ground like this. But in my case, I do right now, which is great. And there's certain areas like down south in Grayson Highlands where you got wide open pastures, and as much as I love a hammock, it's just not going to work because there's no trees. And this setup is probably as close as I can get to the simplicity and breakdown speed of a hammock, because when it comes time to break this down, if it was a downpour or something, all I got to do is pull all the spikes up and then drop the poles after everything is already packed away, shove it in the outside of my pack, and roll out. I don't think that's going to be an issue for me. This soft ground, unlike Pennsylvania might be, it's funny, as much as I always complain about Pennsylvania and all their rocks and how you can't get a tent spike in the ground, now I got the opposite problem. I need to get some purchase here. There we go. So my shelter is up. My pad I'm going to leave out because, well, I'm going to sit on this. I can leave this folded in half, sit on a rock, and use it as my seat. And then when it comes time to go to sleep, I'll just put it right inside. But for now, this will be my little couch. Where do I want to put it? Let's hang out by the water. That temp is dropping quick. It is getting chilly. It is after 5 now, believe it or not. Just been hanging around, enjoying the water, and laid down for a little bit and listened to a podcast. Start getting a little cold. So I have a feeling we're going to drop rapidly down to that 30 degree or 40 degree mark probably. I'm sure I won't see 30 degrees until I'm fast asleep, hopefully. But I am getting a little chilly, so I got my new hoodie. This is the Ventus hoodie. First time using this. It's got a little bit of a, it's soft on the inside, but the outside almost feels like it would shed water a little bit if I got like a sprinkle on me or whatnot. So this is all I have. I don't, as far as warmth goes, I didn't bring a puffy jacket because just didn't feel like it was going to be that cold, and I wanted to test this out. So feel warmer already, feels comfortable. I got the hood if I want to put it up like that. But yeah, that's pretty comfy. So see how that does, and I'm gonna make some food at this point. I'm not gonna make a fire. I think I decided against that. I don't see an established fire pit or fire ring around here. It would be legal to make one, but I don't know. I don't think I'm really in the mood to create a fire pit here if there isn't already one. I'm just gonna probably leave things the way they are. And also, I'm lazy. I got buffalo style chicken mac and cheese from Mountain House. I've never tried that one before, so that'll be my dinner with the alcohol stove and my kit right here. So I just got my little pot. 750 ml. Plenty of water right behind us. And I'll boil off 385 ml, so a little over a half pot of water. I'll just fill it up out of the brook there and boil off some water and make a little food. I have to hang my bear bag line up soon too. Well, I don't have to, but it would be irresponsible to do that. I tend to wait until the last minute for that, typically. Some sort of animal running around down there as I speak. A little critter. There are black bears around here, but I haven't seen one in years. But they are definitely around. But more importantly, I don't want anything getting into my food. Chipmunks or squirrels, raccoons, fox, whatever the case may be. So I should probably grab my bear bag line while this water's heating up and just set it up now, because sunset is within an hour. The days are getting shorter now that we're here in mid-September. So let me take care of that. There's my bear bag line. And usually what I do, this is like 25 feet of zinget with a little carabiner attached onto it. And typically I take my stuff sack for my cook kit, which is right here, holds my pot together, but I'll put a rock in this, probably the same rock that I used to hammer in my tent spikes. Put that in there, attach my line to it, throw this over top of a tree branch around here somewhere, and just get it prepped up. And at the end of the night, I can hoist all my food into the air. All right. That is prepped, and it's still daylight. Not bad, but that light is going away. So let's check on the water. All right. Stove still has some fuel in it. So what I usually do with that is just take the pot, put it over top. Fuel is snuffed. I'll let that cool down safely, and I can actually pour that fuel back into the bottle if there's enough, or I could save it for a cup of coffee later or something like that. So that is good. Well, if there's anything that reminds you that yet another summer is coming on, it's how quickly the days evaporate, because it is dark and it is not far after 6, but here we are. Got my tent behind me, the water flowing. We'll wake up in the morning and see what happens tomorrow. A new day begins. Slept good. I'll tell you what though, this foam pad works, but I do kind of miss my thicker inflatable pad, at least with whatever minor back issue I have going on. But I feel pretty good. The sun is out. I overslept, and it's for sure. I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning. I thought I was ready to go, and then I went back to sleep. So it is like 8 something. Actually, it might be pushing up on 9 o'clock. That's okay. Feel pretty good. but I should probably get going. And hey, there's no rain. From looking at my thermometer right now, let's see. I checked it earlier when I got up. It only went down into the 40s instead of the 30s, which is great. And right now it is 52 degrees, which is quite warm considering what I was expecting. I slept in my new hoodie. It felt good with my 40-degree top quilt. No problem whatsoever. So yeah. Now I guess it's time to put the shoes on. Maybe wake up and face the day. Oh yeah, look at that. It is a beautiful New Hampshire morning. I don't know what it is though. It just feels chillier than it is. Maybe a little bit of humidity in the air, I'm not sure. Good morning, New Hampshire. Look at all those boulders strewn about after a millennia of geological turmoil. Oh, man. All right, what are we doing here? Grab my hat, maybe that'll warm me up a little bit. All right. Let's grab the food bag. The sun is way up in the sky. There it is. No critters have gotten to it. Whoa. We're having chili for breakfast, people. Yes, we are. Yep. You know you overslept when the sun is at that point in the trees during breakfast. That's okay. That is okay. All right. So we'll get this packed away. The tent will be empty, and we can break it down and we'll be on our way. Oh, my back though is randomly spasming right in that lower left part, right at the base of my back. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, but that's all right. We're just going to ignore that for now. So, tent down. Yes. So, let's get the pack out of the way. And we're just going to drop the poles. Just like this. One. Oh. And two. Pick up the spikes. Don't want to lose those. Of course, I have lost many a tent spike, and not the end of the world. Just find a twig or a substantial twig or stick, and you can do without them. But always easier when you have them. And now, stuff it in the stuff sack. And that is it. Tent, or I should say camp, is broken down. That wind is picking up. The skies are pretty clear. There's a little bit of cloud cover in the air that is rolling in now. It wasn't there before, but it feels pretty calm compared to how it could be around here. But anyway, that's that. So yeah, it's already like I was never here, camp-wise. I got my map over there. I'll probably show you that. All right, so this, I believe, yep, that's Route 112 along there. So we started right around here, parked around here. Oliverian Brook, Passaconaway cutoff. And so we are roughly in this area where we camped. We're going to go up today to Mt Passaconaway. And then this intersection here is where that Rich's camp originally was. The one that's not officially there anymore, by Dicey's Mill and Rollins Trail. Then Kate Sleeper Trail, and you got Middle Pyramid and North Pyramid right here, and then multiple options to get back to 112. That was the original plan, to go all the way around there. Unfortunately, my back is not feeling too good, and I don't know if I want to risk messing it up worse than it already is. But we're going to feel things out. We're definitely going to go up towards Mt Passaconaway and then Camp Rich. We're just going to put this pack on after I fill up a little bit of water here. We're going to hit the trail. We have a decent amount of elevation in front of us, 1,500 feet or so up to go, plus some up and downs. That sun continues to move through the sky, and we should probably put this map in our pocket and get out there. All right, where did we come from? I do believe it was up here. Here we go. Guess I picked the right trip to start actually bringing hiking poles again. Hopefully this helps with whatever is wrong with my back. But it is a beautiful day. Well, the first sign of turning leaves right there. And the wind is starting to pick up. We've been gaining in elevation. Definitely not all the way to the top, but we're getting there. You can feel that change in the air. That wind. Uh-oh. I don't know if this is the trail. Kind of looks like I should have went through the woods. All right. Not a bad view though. But yeah. Looks like we're going back down. All right. Whoopsie. I got a custom view, I guess. Not many people have seen this from this angle because they were smart enough to not come up this way. Time to descend back to the real trail. I had a feeling this is a little extra sketchy. All right. Still pretty steep, but at least I'm on the real trail and in the right direction. I will admit though, I'm going slow. Temp is still pretty cool too. I got this hoodie on still. I haven't looked at my thermometer, but I feel like it's still in the 50s at the highest. Walden Trail. So, I'm gonna keep moving towards Camp Rich. According to old reports, there is a spring there. And if that is flowing, that'd be good. We're on the ridge, which feels nice. Whew. The wind is picking up, but we are at another intersection not too long after. Dicey's Mill, Passaconaway, where we came from. Somewhere around here should be the old campsite. What I do see here though, which is awesome, is clear flowing water. Yeah, it's not the biggest flow in the world, but it'll definitely keep me alive through the night. So that's awesome. At this point, we're going to poke around. Campsite should be somewhere around here. I'm just going to go off the trail to the right. I mean, I already see places that I could set up a tent for sure, but I'm going to poke around a little more. There seems to be a herd path going through here. I'm just going to follow it and see what happens. Oh, things are opening up. It's an opening. Water is nearby. You can get a tent right here. Think so. Temp is dropping quick. It is down to 46 degrees. So a little different than yesterday. We're going to bang out this tent setup and make some soup. And maybe make a fire because it is getting cold. Not exactly the most level spot, but it'll do. And I'm in a bit of a rush because it is just cold. All right. We've got ourselves a shelter. And I think tonight we're actually going to get our 30-ish degree temperature. So I'm going to make a fire because I'm cold already. We got a big rock here for a wind block. And we're just going to dig out a nice little pit to protect it a little more from the wind. Send a message to my wife that I am camping here with my GPS coordinates, and we'll move on to collecting a little firewood. Got a little fire starter in there from home. Same thing I used to start the fireplace at my house. It's catching. I got some random pieces of bark and we're just gonna hope for the best. Hope that this will catch. And yeah, if I'm lucky, I'll get a little warmth. I can put my pot right in here and heat up some water for food. We'll see. I feed some twigs in here. Just try to keep it alive. And we'll take it from there. We have heat. We have entertainment. And we have a little something to bring us to the next day. Morning. Welcome to a brand new day. That wind is whipping. Oh, and it has been all morning. No, it has been all night. I guess we should go. I woke up at 4:30 and I was feeling real like, man, listen to that wind. I was feeling real energetic, or motivated is a better word. And I said, I'm gonna go. And then I closed my eyes and I fell back asleep. And it's probably a good thing. My back was killing me last night. What else is new for the last couple days? But yeah, I did want to get an early start, so I kind of missed that opportunity as far as 4:30 goes. But 6:30 for me is still pretty early, so let's get going. Pretty cold too. I don't know what temp we went down to. Let's take a look. Well, it's 43 right now. Yeah, it went down to 41. So, ooh, windy. Never got into the 30s, which is nice, but pretty close. 41. Yeah. So, I'm gonna put my shoes on, break this tent down, get some water. I think I'm gonna make a meal, a hot meal, I still have my shepherd's pie, so I think I'm going to make that for breakfast. I know I've been having some weird breakfasts, but I could use the calories. And then we're going to get ourselves moving, and hopefully we'll get some views, man, because yesterday we never really poked out above the trees. Today, though, I'm determined we're going to get some views on our way out. Before we get back to civilization. Oh, all right. Hello, morning. It is windy and cold. But we need some water. So let's go do that. I'm ready for some cottage pie, which is going to be basically a beef stew, or a thick beef stew with mashed potatoes. All right, there's that. And the tent is broken down. We are done with that. All right. Let's get some calories. Oh man, that is amazing. That wind is crazy, and the sky is completely clouded over. It's not looking great. I haven't pulled down the weather report yet, but yeah, I feel like it might be kind of rough. But either way, I'm going to try to eat breakfast and just beeline out of here. Alright, here we go. Back to the trail. Oh man. Of course, we got to do something today to make it memorable. So at this point, we are just shy of 4,200 feet. Woo! Whoa! There goes my hat. That wind is picking up. I took the alternate trail out in the direction of Oliverian Brook and the vehicle, but over the top of Mt Passaconaway. We got a nice view right there. 4,200 feet, but we came from 1,200, so that's something. Got a little accomplishment out of today. Oh, look at this. To view. All right. Guess we'll take one more little expedition here and see what we got. What do we have here? That is a view. Look at all those clouds stuck on the ridge over there. It's pretty amazing. A little bit of pain, a whole lot of beauty. Worth it in the end. But it is time for me to keep on going down that way, up and around, but ultimately down that way, and back to the vehicle and back home. Woohoo. I think I had a little adrenaline coming down here to the view that I'm leaving behind, but I had to go downhill a bit to get here, so a little bit of uphill. We'll get back to the main trail. Should be smooth sailing after that. It was nice though. I have to admit, I was cursing a little bit coming down all this because I knew I had to go back up it. But it was worth it. It's about 9 in the morning now. All right, and here comes the downhill. Oh, ouch. Well, it was steep, but worth it. Now, we're going to backtrack towards Oliverian Brook. I will say, having the hiking poles is speeding me up. Have something to put my weight on and worry less about falling in these slippery, wet sections. Continue a steady descent. Temp seems to be warming up a little bit. Well, that wind is still coming and going, but that's all right. Carefully, slowly, we should level out soon, and then we can pour on the miles a little quicker. Nope, not making that mistake again. What I don't want to do is get complacent, go too fast on these rocks and boulders. That is when you hurt yourself. Take it easy, be careful, watch the footing. Let these rocks gradually turn into dirt. Back into the green tunnel. We are pretty close to getting back to civilization. We are back. Almost. See the mountain ahead of us there. I'm finally heating up. Temperature down here is a little warmer. We made it. Sun is out. My back is hurting, but I'm still alive. So right now, it's cheeseburger time.